New at 6 tonight, it's a debate that has a lot of people fired up in one mid-state county. When is a private citizen a private citizen? A Maury County trustee has come under fire for what some call discrimination against same-sex couples looking to tie the knot, even though he isn't required to perform marriages at all. Our Jason Lamb spoke with him today, and Jason, he tells us this debate is forcing him out of weddings for good, even though he's been allowed to do it for years.
That's right, Rory. He's been allowed to do it, but not required to do it. And that is what's at the center of all this. Steve Kahns currently happens to be the trustee or treasurer for Maury County, but his power to perform weddings comes from the 1980s when he was a county commissioner. Former Maury County Commissioner Steve Kahns told us today he's through with officiating weddings.
I've already made the decision based on the activities the last few days that I'm going to quit.
Kahns says he first made the decision to quit last year after the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage. But he says friends and others who knew him encouraged him to start back up.
I just quietly did a lot of them because there's nobody doing them, okay? I just felt sorry for people.
Kahns said in starting back up, he did not want to perform wedding ceremonies for same-sex couples, even though he says none have asked him.
My morals were such that I had a problem with doing that.
Unlike a county clerk, it's not Kahns' job or requirement as trustee or former commissioner to perform any wedding ceremonies. So he says he didn't agree with this letter he got from a D.C.-based nonprofit called Americans United for Separation of Church and State, saying he could potentially be sued for unequal treatment for not wanting to marry same-sex couples.
My personal beliefs are that it's not biblical.
It hurt. It did hurt.
That's where Caleb Banks enters the picture. He says he asked Kahns yesterday to perform a vow renewal for him and his husband, and Kahns said he decided against all weddings or ceremonies from here on out. Banks live-streamed the whole meeting.
So you're going to stop as of today and you have 2 more weddings to perform?
Right.
Okay.
Banks says as someone who was given power to officiate weddings by the government, Kahns doesn't have the right to pick and choose who he officiates weddings for.
Pain's there because it hurts to see the community, the LGBT community, still so singled out.
But Kahns says he doesn't want to get sued, so he's done with weddings for good, partially at the urging of his wife.
That has a lot to do with it. Happy wife, happy life.
Now, Banks says he's not sure if he believes that Kahns will be done with marriage ceremonies for good. Banks says he's still weighing his legal options. Right now, he says his vow renewals are on hold.